Thanks for joining us. We've crested the halfway mark, Jared. Episode 5, Slasher.
Ripper, downhill slide.
Season 5, so we're sliding into the end here. Neither one of us have got fuck all idea who's done this. We've got nothing.
I mean, you can dig up the fucking superintendent's body and he'd have more chance of finding the killer than I would at the moment.
But once you dug it up, he'd tell you to fuck me, mother. Demon cock you rode it on.
But at least I can say my initial suspect is still alive 6 episodes. Into episode 6.
Yes.
So I'll take that. I'll take that as a win because I have nothing.
But Jared, I'm saying I've settled.
You settled?
I've settled.
You settled? You stopped leaping suspect to suspect.
Every fucking horse and cart. Every horse and cart that rode past.
You're like the force in the show. Anyone that walks past with a small piece of circumstantial evidence is getting fucking dragged to the station.
And I'm hanging blokes left and right. I've hung fucking 20 people by now. Alright, okay, straight into it. I thought it was a pretty good episode. Again, the one negative is similar to what I said last week is, and we talked about with Flesh and Blood is, you know, we flash back to a character and then unfortunately we kind of take them out.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I'd like to see a little bit of a mixture.
Yeah.
Not do that all the time.
Yep.
Because I feel like you're undercutting your who done it.
A little bit. Yeah.
Straight out of the gate, we got a bit of classic Garvey. There's a moment where he goes to the sister's house and talks to the younger sister. Is it Verdi? Verdi. And he says to her, he give her some chocolates. So the other girl did talking fucking hate, didn't she?
Yeah.
And then he's like, every woman has a price. Yours isn't chocolates? Flowers, perhaps? And she sort of remonstrates with him that she doesn't want a bar of it. And then, fuck, for a second he kind of looks a bit pissed and then he turns away, he looks back and he goes, do you want a horse? I was like, fuck, mate. There you go.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, the great thing about it is McCormack's got that, it almost brings out the Will and Grace sort of angle when he does that. It's like he's just a bit of a moron.
Yeah.
It's that kind of buffoonery that we get from him from time to time.
I mean, carriage? I can buy a fancy carriage.
Yeah, exactly.
2 horses.
Yeah, come on.
Pull it along.
Talk to me. And then later on he refers to Scotland Yard as Shetland Yard.
Yeah.
Which I thought was highly amusing.
Yes.
So, once again, Garvey's sort of stealing the show here.
Yeah. And look, I'm not going to say I didn't miss the superintendent because I could have done with a couple of blow-ups and some laser-focused policeman fucking shambling from scene to scene. Erratically fucking... 1 minute he's asleep, the next minute he's up in someone's face.
I
could have done with a bit of that. But I must say, I actually really enjoyed the... they kind of focused on on the Botticelli storyline and the Crenshaw and Salome storyline. And I think those... like deepening those two kind of
that was a good move.
Worked out really well, spending a bit of time on both of them, especially as I said to you, I was very impressed with Salvatore Antonio this episode. He was good. Pulled out a fantastic fucking bit of work there.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that too.
But yeah, getting deeper into the Botticelli storyline, I loved, as you said, Garvey kind of getting back in the picture and kind of throwing himself in the mix. this arm wrestle for Garvey's attention, even though one of the sisters doesn't know she's in it.
Yeah, that's right.
But I love the fact that, you know, he starts to play his hand a little bit.
Yep.
Viviana, I believe that's the older one's name. Yep. She comes
in. Big hand.
She comes in from the wings and shows us that for fucking 5 episodes she's just been playing a game and essentially couldn't give a fuck about either of her sisters.
Oh.
Just makes a bit of cash for herself. And,
Viviana is a fucking human trafficker.
And then even Verdi at the end kind of starts to get a little bit crafty in her dealings with Garvey to buy herself a little bit of time. And I thought that was really good.
Yeah, really well
spending
played.
a little time. I mean, I could have done with another paddling or a... What are we up to now by the time...
I don't know where we'd get to just yet, but...
Some sort of paddling contraption? Or something?
Oh, yeah, no, it'd be one of those fucking fuck swigs. See? Look, this is a side note, but have you ever seen Bird After Reading?
No,
the Coen Brothers movie?
I haven't watched it yet.
There's this whole fucking thing with George Clooney as this they keep seeing him, bringing things into the house and scurrying downstairs, disappearing, locking doors and shit. And then he finally brings Frances McDormand downstairs to show her what he's been up to. He's made a fucking roots wig. It's fucking hilarious. Like, it's got this cock on it. And he's looking at her like, yeah. I'm just like, that's brilliant.
Well, that's what, I thought we'd be heading in that direction with a soapstone dildo or something.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, I really liked that they spent a bit of time on that and started to give those characters a little bit to work with.
Yeah, and they fleshed a lot of that out, which had kind of been sort of bubbling along in the background.
Just simmering. We went from a light simmer in the background to turn it up to a medium heat and put the lid on it for 10 minutes.
Simmering for 40 minutes. And then, turn it up a little bit to put a bit of salt and pepper in there. And then, it just go from there. But really liked that. Was totally taken aback and surprised by Salome killing Crenshaw.
Yeah, well, that falling out, initially it was kind of quite captivating before any of that happened. And then it fucking happens and you're like, well, shit.
That's the end of him.
Yeah, that's the end of him.
Again, my first thought,
he's never made it through.
He was my suspect. He's never made it through.
I was currently at his doorstep, banging on the door, saying, "You need to come to the station. We've got a few questions for you, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be under lock and key by the time we finish answering those questions."
I was fucking threw a hangman's noose at his door.
I'll just size you up for this just before we answer the questions, because I'm pretty sure we are going to be needing it.
Correct.
But yeah, I thought, as you said, like, they started to stretch that out a little bit, and then he's just gone. And the reaction appears to be, and obviously later in the episode it appears to confirm, that Salome's done that and killed someone else, but is not actually the widow. That was just a fucking outburst.
Yeah.
So that was quite shocking and quite.
I was also quite shocked to find Crenshaw's head as part of Salome's act.
Yes. Well, the unfortunate thing for you is you've had to move on from Crenshaw, and while you're there, you're sniffing around Salome.
He has his fucking arms cut off. Holy shit, I can't catch a break.
Yeah, no.
Apparently I do turn to my crew of police and say, hang the prick anyway.
That killing might actually be one of the more unsettling ones.
Very
because,
nasty,
she was given the drugs and giggling and stuff while it was going on.
I didn't like that at all.
It was kind of creepy.
Yes. Very harsh too.
Yeah.
There's a really cool shot too where he's sort of Salome's, she's walking through the room in the upstairs.
Yeah.
And then the widow sort of comes out behind her through it's like a rack of dresses, and the widow just kind of appears behind her and within the rack of dresses. That was a really, really cool shot.
Yep. It also, the timing of that too, it actually happened before we'd kind of got wrapped up with the end of the Botticelli storyline for the episode. So it sort of still had this thing attached where you felt like Crenshaw was going to get in the way of Verdi being sold off.
Yeah.
And so when that happens, there's this extra layer of, oh shit, we were thinking the two older sisters might get some comeuppance here. And so they still haven't got that, even though Verdi has been sort of extracted from
What I thought was interesting, though, was Crenshaw didn't seem like he cared greatly about her.
Well,
her sale, it was almost like you cut me out.
Well,
it cut me out of the.
I think there was a little bit of that, and I enjoyed, again, good writing, the dialogue about the, you couldn't give a shit, you're making money off women, whatever. He's saying they choose to do this, and all this sort of this back and forth about what level of
culpability with regards to sex, the sex trade.
But you're right. I think there was an element of. I don't even think it was the money. I think it was, we got this sense that they'd kind of fallen in love a little bit.
Yes.
When he took Salome off the streets.
Yes. And
that was kind of the end of the relationship. In quite a fucking
harsh way.
Quite an exclamation point put on that one.
Yes. But I just thought that was interesting because Crenshaw's been sort of portrayed, even though he's a pimp, basically, as sort of like
stand-up guy,
a white knight. Fucking stand-up guy. Holy shit! If that is the stand-up guy in town, then there's a problem.
Just worked his way up.
I mean, Garvey looks better than him.
No, he does not. Jesus. At least he's purchasing young women.
I know. And I was hoping.
Well, like Crenshaw made. I mean, there's by extension, Crenshaw's a little bit responsible for the selling of the young.
Correct. I was actually hoping there might be a little sort of tweak to it where she approaches Garvey about selling Verdi to him, and he balks at it. Do you know what I mean? Like initially, he says,
I thought he was going to come.
You're a disgrace.
Yeah, I thought he was going to come and use his influence to basically do that, like
but not
turn Verdi against them.
Yep.
And be the kind of
the protector.
I have a house where you can stay to be safe or whatever.
And he does cool a little bit because she talks him out of sleeping in his bed.
But you get this sense that he's smart to the game.
Oh yeah.
But he's giving her
a little bit of room.
Yep.
So overall, I thought it was a pretty good episode.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about something that you feel like ruins.
Well, I had two things that got my goat a little bit.
Got your goat.
Got my goat. So, number one, you've already mentioned it. It was the classic case of, within 10 minutes of the episode going, I was like, there's a lot of Salome.
Yeah, Salome's out.
I am pretty sure she's going to be killed at the end of the episode. As you said, the positive was they threw the curveball of Crenshaw in there.
Yeah.
Which, overall, I still think it was a really strong episode, even though we'd fallen into this same sort of routine.
No, look, there's a routine and there's a process to it, and I wish that it wasn't like that. But that seems to be the way they've gone.
Yeah.
Over the past couple of seasons.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, I'm sure if I look back at Guilty Party and Solstice, they would be similar.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that going on.
Yeah.
All right. My big question. We're getting into logistics again, Adam.
Logistics.
Like sometimes, we love our slashes, but sometimes there's a couple of questions of
logistical questions.
How did we get this done? How did this happen? Yeah. We've asked it a couple of times about how the Widow's got a couple of jobs done without being spotted.
Yeah, correct.
But this one might be the biggest one of the season for me. Okay, so
Yeah.
Crenshaw has just been stabbed. He's lying on the floor dead of Salome's room. We get a knock on the door. It says, you're on in 10. 10 minutes later, Crenshaw's head's on a fucking platter.
Yeah.
They find the body out the back. You telling me Salome's done that in 10 minutes? Scrubbed up, got on stage, performed the show. How?
Yeah, fuck
How
yeah.
did she fucking
that's...
got the body out unnoticed, cut the head off, put it together on the platter for the show?
No, that's a fair question.
That's a fucking 60-minute job minimum.
60 minutes?
If you're
Not fucking blood. There's so much blood. I mean, it would be all over you. And there'd be no way to just rub it off. And this
But
is the
you
thing.
need to find the tools. You've got to send someone to find you a fucking saw to cut his head off, don't you?
Exactly, unless you bring your own shit to the scene.
Maybe I'll borrow one of Rondo's swords to get that done quickly.
Yeah.
Even then, he's 5 minutes away.
Fuck yeah. Look, the way I see it is, you could not have got that. I mean, whoever did it gets seen. Covered in fucking blood.
Yeah. Crenshaw's what? 80, 85 kegs?
Yeah. He's a tall man, let's go with 90. That's dead weight. 90 fucking keg of dead weight. I mean, I've been doing squats recently, but shit, I'm not picking that up.
No, fuck no.
Fucking hell, I mean, it's a fireman's carry minimum. You have got to get down low and pick it up.
And it seems like they're elevated, as far as I'm aware. I don't know.
Oh, but yeah, so you got to come.
Maybe they're on a ground floor, but even so, you've got to fucking get that out the door.
You've got to get the corpse off the ground first.
Yeah.
So you don't have any leverage to actually get under him until you pick it up. Holy fuck.
Maybe this is indicating that Rondo's in on the game and he's just kind of he's going abracadabra. I'll put this cloth over him. He's out the back and he's one head ready to go. Would you like it on a silver platter? I just pulled that out of my arsehole. Pick a card Rondo has come up with the goods on that one.
Pick a card Rondo. Pick a card Rondo also knows how to fucking cut heads off and move bloody corpses around. Look, That's a fair question. It's another one of these suspend disbelief type of things.
Yeah.
And I guess you have to accept it. But
it didn't.
When you start,
I'm well past that sort of stuff. Dulling my enjoyment.
No, of course.
It's just a bit of fun.
I laugh at that.
Yeah. Have a bit of a talk about. I mean, if I haven't got one of those questions about how you did it, it's not a slasher.
No, that's right. That's right.
How you appeared somewhere, how you moved a body here, how you positioned it onto a bowler.
I mean, fuck. I never bothered to question how Jason appeared in front of people.
No, fuck no. And when they told me he was digging tunnels, I liked it
less. Yeah. When you gave me a alleged explanation, I was like, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I've got a suspects, Jared. Suspects. Yeah. I have settled on a suspect.
You've settled? All right. Who have we settled on?
I think the widow is the younger sister.
Okay.
And the reason why is she had just turned up into town.
Mm-hmm.
And when the murders, in episode 1, the murders occurring.
Yep.
She has been played as an innocent who's been mistreated, who's been
paddled,
treated very much like
had her
Margaret.
Fucking chocolate stolen.
I know. That's the worst crime. I mean, I would rather be paddled.
If that's a box of favourites, I'm laying hands on someone.
And don't ever get me started. It is a box of like TV snacks, like a malt sticks. I am fucking going ballistic.
I'm charging through doors. I'm grabbing collars. Who the fuck ate my malt sticks?
Which one of you fucking dildos stole my malt sticks? All right. So there's two reasons. She's been played the innocent.
Yep.
She is being treated in a similar way to Margaret.
Mm-hmm.
And I get this feeling that she's somehow connected to Margaret.
Yeah.
Related, a sister, a younger sister, something. She's not who she says she is.
Yeah.
Because there were no checks by the sisters that she was their sister. Is that right?
Yeah, there seemed to be a little...
Just yes, come in. You know, you
come
are...
in.
So to me...
Come in. Malt sticks. Good. You can
come
say.
in. Now bend over. Come on in, put your bags down and bend over.
Yeah.
But I think that's who it is. And she's positioned now with Garvey, who is the one person that she wants.
And will be in a similar situation to Margaret.
Yes, but she'll turn the tables.
Yeah, so I've got to stick with the surgeon just because I've been there since episode 1. And she's still on the board.
Thank you, Superintendent.
It's like a game of Survivor. My contestant's still on the island. I don't think they're going to win, but I've been on them since episode 1. No, you know what? I was actually going to say the same thing. There was a couple of sequences in this episode where the way that she was shot and the things that were happening were almost a mirror of what was going on with Margaret.
That's what I think's going on.
So I was kind of... That was the other one that I was
feel
like
that's the outcome.
Yeah.
Because Garvey's the key player in all of this.
Yep.
He has now just purchased her. We all sit there and think, what a bastard.
Yeah.
But this was what she had planned all along.
We're correct.
Correct, yeah.
But
this is her plan.
The only thing that goes against that is she is very small statured.
Oh, no, but fuck, when has that gotten away? I mean, holy shit. Watching the...
Well, they actually played with that last season because we kept on saying the gentleman has kind of the build of a man.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, it was like, oh, well, fuck, we didn't even kind of pick up that the nurse was just... she was a very solidly built woman.
Yeah. But, I mean, fuck. Scream 2022.
Yeah,
I mean, to insinuate that fucking midget girl killed Dewey is ridiculous.
Yes, exactly.
Like, to believe that in any way, so we never let that get in the way in my book.
Yeah, but you got to take these things. I mean, fuck, your book is... You've ripped out a number of pages in your book already, so...
I've skimmed over it.
But no,
I believe that that's the outcome.
I concur with that one because that was it. It was all based around...
Hell, the wagon drives past and
no.
Hey, wait for me!
I've stuck that. I'm still on the same... I mean, I've got to stick with the...
Do you feel like the surgeon is in any way possibly the killer?
Not as much this time. if I was to pick out of the two, entirely based on the way things were shot and done this episode, there was just a lot of things where it was almost you could have interchanged the actresses, and I think that was intentional.
Yep.
So that was kind of leading me. I mean, Verdi was on the table, the sisters were on the table, but they were just well and truly in the background.
But yeah, all Verdi was in those first 4 episodes was basically just this...
was just an ass to be fucking smacked.
Yeah. Or Garvey to roll in and tell her where it was at.
Garvey to ride in on a horse. What do you think?
So I feel like that's where we're at.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. But the surgeon makes a mean pie of it.
Fucking hell. Again, though, let's think about this. Do we believe that Verdi spirited away fucking Crenshaw's body and cut his head off and then returned it all without anyone fucking noticing?
Well, I mean, when we start to get into logistics again, Verdi is a very small individual. Was she supposed to, like... How does she move Eddie? Eddie was about 6'4".
Yeah, he was a massive...
Rotund.
I don't know. Okay, the logistically things don't look that good.
No, but
the way I feel like it was being top played out, that's the person that it is.
Yeah, I think... I think after a number of needles, a number of suspects that you've brought in and tortured, only for them to be killed later on, I think you might finally be onto something.
I might be on it. I mean, fuck, Hago high right now.
Yeah.
All right, the last thing for me, in the interesting angles, I just felt the sisters, their angles, we started to see more where they were at. And got a sense of, as you pointed out earlier on, that the older sister is a real fucking manipulator.
Yeah.
And is willing to throw people under her other sisters under
the bus.
Well, I mean,
it had been the two sisters in cahoots until I've got an idea, bag of cash.
Yeah, boom.
I'll just break up, your relationship and fuck you right over. But I got my money.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like they were good things to put out.
Yeah, it was good.
And it keeps things boiling.
I actually think if the last couple of episodes are pretty strong, I would almost say this is a better season than last season.
Yeah, it's close.
Because last season was entertainment plus, but there was a couple of bits and pieces that I don't think were as strong as this season. 3 episodes to go, that could still fall apart, but I'm really enjoying this one. As I did last one. Not shitting on the last season.
No. I think the last season was really good. I think this one is equally as good. And I'm hoping that it will continue. I for some reason, thought I read something about how it had been cancelled. But maybe I'm wrong.
I think that might be Shudder that's been cancelled.
Fuck, what? Shudder couldn't scrape together a couple of $1,000 to shoot.
No, I think AMC might be feeling the pinch, shall we say? So
they're cutting everything, are they?
Well, I don't know. Right. I'm just tossing it out because I hope not. And even if that happened, I hope someone might swoop in and fucking purchase Shudder.
Well, Slash has already gone from Netflix initially, wasn't it? It was on Netflix.
I mean, Amazon buying Shudder would be like the streaming services equivalent of Bill Gates having to, Bill Gates swooping down and picking up a 50-cent piece.
Yeah.
It's almost not worth his effort.
Almost. It's definitely not worth
his effort. He's more chance of doing it, pulling a muscle.
I mean, if it's $4,000 in cash,
yeah, it was $4,000.
Bill's not going down.
That was the fucking what it's worth your time to stop and pick it up.
Holy shit! Imagine that. He's fucking walked past $4,000 and go, nah. I cannot be bothered.
Not going to impact things for me.
All right, okay. So that is episode 5. Looking forward to episodes 6 through 8 as we close this thing out. We'll cover off on them each week. But until then, take it easy and we'll catch up with everyone later. Cheers.
Find the podcast at Podomatic or on iTunes. Don't forget to rate and review. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia or contact us at thrillme, all one word, all lowercase, at iinet.net.au.